Paul Farahvar here. This is an old episode of Singles Only Podcast. I'm reissuing because I love that podcast, and I know a lot of people stopped following me when I started this new podcast, Why Are You Awake? So I'm reissuing some of my favorite episodes with some of my favorite people. This one's with Kristen Toomey and comedian Patti Vasquez playing the voice of reason. She was one of many voices of reasons I had on the podcast, including Maggie DiPaolo, Jeannie Dugan, and many others. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Make sure you go follow Patti Vasquez and Kristen Toomey, and thank you for supporting my channel. Enjoy. Singles only time. Paul Farahvar here.
Woohoo!
Patti Vasquez is here with us, joining us. Patti, haven't seen you in a while.
Thank you for having me back. I got nervous. I was kind of like, did you get burned out on too much?
No, you were really busy. I didn't want to bother you. You had a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, I'm gonna wait until I see that she's responding to my text in faster than 3 hours. Usually you don't respond to text.
Oh, please.
I'm like,
I
okay,
respond more to you than most people,
Yeah.
including my husband. So
Well,
don't tell him that.
No, well, you just did. So
Okay,
he
sorry.
heard you.
Okay, fair enough.
But thank you for coming back. And you guys can catch Patti on WGN Radio. What's the name of the new show?
It's the Patti Vasquez Show with Andrea Darlis, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11, unless there's a sporting event of some sort.
Right.
Then I'm on after.
And our guest, we've had her already on the show, and she's returned.
Hello.
Comedian Kristen Toomey.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
guys.
Hello.
Thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be back.
Kristen, you
Yeah.
are still single?
Yes.
How is that possible? You've been on the market now for
A year, apparently.
almost a year.
A
Yeah.
year. Yeah. I have to beat them off of me with a stick. They're
I
lined
believe
up. No, I haven't even tried to
Yeah.
date or anything.
No
No
online
hookups.
datings
No
or
nothing.
anything?
Nothing in a year?
Nothing. I'm like a nun.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How's that been then? I mean, are you kind of enjoying just not worrying about it? And
Yeah.
Or
I
if you
feel like
think about
I have to get my mind right before I add anybody else into the mix. I don't need to mess up what I'm trying to build in my, I'm trying to
Right.
heal myself and,
Right.
and learn, like I talked about last time I was on, I'm trying to figure out how to love properly and love myself and all of that. And I feel like if I just throw another person in there right now, I've been all over the map all year.
Yeah.
Literally. Literally. Yeah, I've
You've
been
all over.
traveling and also in my own mind. And so, yeah, I just feel like
what's part
Not
of
ready.
what's part of the process of learning how to love again? Is it observing others, seeing how you react in certain situations, sort of being aware?
I think it is trying to be more self-aware and accepting and forgiving of my mistakes in the past and trying to understand, trying to look at the mistakes in the past and at least look at them.
Right.
And then
That's hard.
it is hard.
Yeah,
It's
I would
it's
put stuff in a
horrible.
box.
It's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
And it really is I've been flogging myself. That's what it feels like.
Well, that's not forgiving yourself.
No, it's not. But it's I'm Catholic, so it runs deep. That's how I process things. But I'm trying to figure out that it's okay to love people. It's safe to love people, and that I'm capable of that. So it's a lot,
You said love properly.
Yeah.
That's the word you use. What do you mean by that?
I mean, in a way that isn't self-gratifying only. In a way that is selfless and unconditional.
What's that like?
I don't know, man. If I knew, I'd be doing it already.
How do you find that?
Well, you have. I mean, I know it's different, but you have a child, right?
I have two.
Two.
Yeah.
You have kids, so I mean, obviously, it's not the same thing,
Right.
But it's kind of there are things that you do without thinking about it because they need it, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to figure out how to do that for somebody who should be able to take care of themselves, which is hard for us to put.
Well, it's hard to
Right.
do that for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that to myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a mom to myself.
That's smart. Yeah, because it makes you a better mom to them.
Yeah, that's the goal. Is
Right.
that then I can, be reintroduced to them as a fully formed person. Whereas, I just think I didn't grow up. And I'm trying to grow up now. And I'm 37 and I'm single for the first time. And like I have no education. I have no job history.
But you're a comedian who's crushing it right now.
Well, thank you.
And people you're like one of the hottest commodities in comedy right now to come out of Chicago.
Thank you.
And I would think that would leverage into some sort of, if not this proper love that you speak of. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. At least, like,
Did you hear like all the wiring in his head just go?
At least it would lead to improper love is what I'm used to. So, I mean, have you not wanted to like just meet people and just hang out, whether it's proper or has some longevity, at least to like, it helps you. I think going on dates with people helps you grow individually, and you like learn from I've learned from every relationship, even the Russian girl that I went on a date with for 10 minutes.
Are we done here?
Are we done here? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how she ended the date.
Oh
But
my gosh. See, you know what though, because I am so, I've been a bit of a bully my whole life. Right. And so now I've locked myself in this like cell of an apartment for the past year with this bully. And I've just been fighting myself. And when you're that raw, I don't need some fucking asshole to be like, I think we're done here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already done, motherfucker. Like, I'm not even showing up because
Right.
I would probably at some point over the past 12 months, if someone said that to me, I would have like murdered them probably.
Right. We
Just,
didn't even
ripped
start, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, no, to
No.
be fair, we were both like trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of the
Right.
date.
And I
But
mean,
yeah,
that's like a waste of my time. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So,
but you also have to show up to make yourself, if not available, emotionally, at least figuratively or literally, like you have to like at least put yourself out there a little bit to
totally.
do that.
And when and I'm actually getting to the point where I might be open to that, but like this past year, it's really me fighting my demons, fighting myself, and like trying to prepare myself for when the right situation comes. I can handle it and I can respect it and be grateful for it.
But don't you think, and just playing devil's advocate here, that's like when you're ready to like love properly, but don't you also think that you can get to that level by experimenting, like going out on dates with people, making yourself vulnerable, whether it's, after I'm sure I've been at shows with you where you're approached by dudes. So I don't say that doesn't happen because I fucking saw it. And I know women comedians say that never happens to me. And then I always want to just take a picture and be like, fucking liar. I'm watching it happen right now. And you just don't see it. Like, what about that? Or other comedians who like, I know idolize you. Is that something that you thought about, dating other comedians or something like that, or musicians or other people in the entertainment fields?
Yeah, and I would like that, and I just want to make sure that that I don't hurt myself and hurt them, and I have a bad history of hurting people in relationships because I like that's just, and my intention is never to be hurtful or, that's not my intent.
Do you think that it's because you're not on the same page with the people, or like you are, I mean, I can't see you as a malicious person.
No, I'm not malicious, but
You say you bully.
But the
I'm
results are
cold, like I can be
in a relationship.
just in any relationship. Yeah. Like not even just a sexual relationship or whatever, but just, to protect myself. Like I'm working on being vulnerable and I can I'm also working on like being the same person all the time because I have a horrible habit of my whole life, like adjusting who I am to when I'm talking to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like if I'm talking to you, Paul, I'll be like one way so you like me. And then if me and Patti are in a room, I might change my way just so we get along better.
But that's a malleability that's normal.
An adaptability. Right.
Yeah, but it's too extreme. And the problem is when you're dating someone, I think women more so than men, we kind of lose ourselves in that person, and I hear that from my friends all the time. Like, man, I really like this guy, but I don't want to lose myself in this relationship. And, I just got out of a 14-year marriage where I was playing a wife, like what I thought a wife was. I was playing a character, and he didn't ask that point blank of me, but that was how I reacted.
That's how you did.
Right. And then also with my kids, I was playing mom and playing a character of a mom and trying to go against my upbringing and the way that I was raised. And I wore myself out, and then it's like you go on stage and you're one way and you go and you're talking after the show to the crowd, you're a different way. And it's just like, I'm exhausted by constantly acting. And so for me to start dating someone in this past year, I would have either completely adopted their personality and it would have stunted this revelation of like, hey, you got to stop acting. You have to be real, find out who that is. And it's, let me tell you, scary when you are sitting alone in an apartment. I'm like, no one's around. And I stopped looking in the mirror. Okay. Because like in the mirror, I'm cute and damaged. Like that's what I've always been. But when you don't look in the mirror and then you're just basing your opinion of yourself off of your actions and your motives and your thoughts, it's terrifying, man. Without anybody being like, it's okay, you're not that bad. You know what I mean? That is what I've been doing. And it's not fun. It's not fun. It's like, wow, I'm not as good as I thought I was as a person, and I'm not as bad too. You know what I mean? Like,
I was hoping you found some balance because while you don't need somebody else to give you that permission, to forgive yourself or to punish you either way, it's also, you also have, if you let it run wild, it could be.
Oh, it went crazy, man. It went so dark. It went very dark, but I came back from that.
Right.
And now I'm stronger and I accept that there is that part of me. And you know what I mean? Like, so I needed, I don't know. I'm a weirdo and I like to.
It also, you had an added level of making that difficult because when you go on stage, you have to have a different persona in a way. I mean, it's an extreme version of yourself is what I like to think of, for me at least, but you have to ham it up a bit. And so that also, it grows you professionally, but it probably stunts you emotionally and your personal growth. I feel as comedians, and that's pointed out to me before. It's like, look, we go out on there and we're in front of a shit ton of strangers, and we have to, we have this persona. But then when we get off stage, like you said, it's going to be slightly different, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's a different persona you have on stage. I know that persona,
right?
And I know the persona off stage. So
yeah, and I think the point is to get those two personas married. Marry them into one being. And And
why can't you keep them
because
separate?
the duality is exhausting, and it feels it doesn't feel as authentic as it used to. So, it's like evolution of me as a person, and that has to be represented on stage as well.
But we write for the stage, so it's a heightened sense of reality. So it is a part of you. I mean, look, I think that if you look at a lot of comics who do become either self-destructive or destructive to others. If we talk about Louis C.K. and Bill Cosby, who had this persona on stage and then something else, I can see they didn't know how to live up to what they presented on stage, or maybe the other way around. It's just kind of, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that there are people who, and look, a lot of comics are self-destructive when they, are abusive with, alcohol or drugs and things like that. So it makes sense. We're always sort of trying to find the funny in things, and that's, your brain never stops when you're off stage.
Yeah.
Right. So it makes complete sense what you're saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to be, as someone that at a young age felt like I had to hide my real feelings and my real self to gain approval. So I spent the rest of my life doing that. And now I realize that that's not the way to free yourself. You can't free yourself by lying and pretending to be something you're not. And we all know at this table, like, the audience knows when you're lying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we're really good at it. Yeah. We can sell it, but I want to try and just be vulnerable and not lie and see what happens. And the past couple of nights I've been doing that. I've been brutally honest and vulnerable up there, and it's like I feel amazing. I don't know if it's that funny.
Yeah.
It's not that funny yet. Some of it's funny, but it's also interesting because I can be so intense up there and have all that anger and stuff, and then to put it in a different mode and kind of just be like, here's me feeling vulnerable. If anyone's paying attention, that might be interesting.
Are you?
It is for me.
Yeah.
Having learned, or what you've learned about yourself, what is it that you've learned about the people that you bring into your life in a relationship? What is it that you've learned that you don't want again or do want again, in terms of now that you're healing yourself to love properly, whatever the fuck that means?
You're very confused by these words.
No, I get it. But what is it that you are going to bring, or what not to bring to the table if and when you're ready to?
What do I want someone to bring to me?
Yeah, like what besides what
Coffee.
Is it that you
just
what
coffee.
Is it that you've learned? You're like, well, I'm definitely not doing that again, or you're like, I really want to see that. Like you said, you're open to dating other comedians. Like, to me, that's the worst decision you could possibly make. At least if you're trying to love properly. If you're trying to love improperly, all power to you, Toomey. But
hey, George Burns and Gracie Allen did just fine.
Yeah,
that was a different time. But like, what is it that you've learned? Like, are you like, hey, I want to date a guy who's an accountant or whatever? I don't know.
No, people keep asking me about accountants. I was on a radio station and someone
Really?
asked me if I liked accountants, and I was like, no.
Was he an accountant or something?
No, but that's just
thing.
a random thing people keep bringing up to me. Maybe.
The
universe is like, you need an accountant, bitch. We've seen your bank account. You need one bad. You're blowing through your money.
I just feel like that's like the exact opposite of a comedian, perhaps.
Of me, it is.
Right. Well, I think it is too, for me.
No, I certainly am not thinking of like an occupation, or hair color or anything like that.
Something deeper.
Yeah, I think it's just more like a connection of some kind, just like somebody that maybe doesn't even need explanation.
So they can be like a country music fan who loves Trump, and you're like, hey, as long as we connect.
I don't think that would connect. But, you never know, man. It's all chemistry and...
Toby Keith wrote some good songs.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know about that. Red Solo Cup, right? That's about it.
I don't
that's
know
him?
if that's him.
I don't know either.
Patti, we know.
Stop.
Patti knows.
Patti doesn't know anything about music.
I have an appalling lack of musical knowledge.
It's shocking.
Yeah, I love music. I got lost in music this summer. I got lost in it. Just like
Smoking Popes is your jam, right?
Yeah. And I quit smoking.
Patty's like, what's that? I wish we were
music.
kidding.
I just don't know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean you got lost in music?
Like I quit smoking pot 3 weeks ago, so my head's clear finally. But I was in a haze of pot and music. And
what kind of music? Like, what were you listening to?
I was going to like festivals and rock music and hip hop.
Gotcha.
It got to the point though where I was, because I don't watch I don't have a TV and I don't watch TV. And so I just have my phone. And my phone really felt like my window to the outside of my cell, you know? And then I would go to these concerts, and it became like musicians were like my friends, you know? And so I was living in this reality where the songs were about me and for me and messages from like angels. And I got into all this stuff and I wrote it down. It would make a good book if I was able to follow through on things. But
is that where you got the word love properly? Is that like a Sade song?
No, it's not, but it should be. But I'm speaking like, you know, like that now. And yeah, because I wanted to connect to something beautiful and escape into art for a while. But you can't sustain that because it becomes hard to relate to people.
But also when you escape into art and the other person's an artist, you also have to embrace their shit that they're dealing with too. So, you know, when you're trying to work on yourself to love properly and all that stuff, then you throw in this other damaged soul.
Yeah.
That might be great, but also might be
it got real dark, man.
Yeah, right? That can get really fucking bad too.
Yeah, it did. And then that's where I was like, all right, you know, back to reality.
An accountant.
No, man. There's got to be something in between.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Kindergarten teacher.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's not feeling that. No.
There's just something about summing somebody up by their occupation that immediately turns me off.
Well, I think a lot of people that have day jobs, it's their occupation that defines a lot of their characteristics, their cardinal traits, things like that.
Yeah, I know.
So someone who's an accountant is going to be very organized and conservative in a lot of ways. A kindergarten teacher is probably going to be kind and patient. These are things that are good qualities. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, every occupation in some way reflects on the person. Most of the time, lawyers are organized and fucking smart, but that doesn't always work.
Argumentative.
Yeah, you don't want to date a lawyer. They're fucking weird.
They have to win every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I should maybe...
You need to make a board of, okay, these are no's. Yeah. We already know country music is a no.
Out. Yeah. I like musicians. I like artists. And yeah.
I've always said
comics are good too, but
I've
been in the boys club a little too long, I think.
Yeah. I think comics dating other comics is risky, but I always have argued that comedians should date other musicians because I feel like
I agree.
I think it's a greatest fucking connection because you have the same schedule basically. Mm-hmm. You have an understanding of what it takes to hustle and the game of art, mm-hmm. whatever, if we call what we do art.
I know that's the question.
And they're also like
it is.
You're not in the same field. You're not in the same lane. You're kind of like in a different field. And I think also musicians...
It's like a parallel...
Right.
Parallel worlds.
Yeah, parallel profession, you know, where it's not... You're not competing with each other, but you're not totally on opposite ends of the spectrum either, you know? And and you kind of understand the mindset a little bit more. You know, you're firing on different cylinders.
Same row of cylinders, but it's just a different one.
Yeah, totally.
Add that to a fucking song of Your Love Properly. That's a fucking verse right there.
I'm starting a
Different
band called
cylinders.
Love Properly, and then I'll date a comic.
How not to? Yeah, right. That's the thing. I think if we do the mingle that we talked about for singles only,
for 2 years you've been talking about this mingle.
A lot of those people are like not single anymore.
Fair enough.
But we've had over 100. This is going to be like over 120 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we all put them all in the fucking room that are still single, I think like people are going to pair off and love properly.
You are really driving that home. I'm going to have merch by the end of this.
That's going to be you're welcome. That's
it's my first self-help book.
Love Properly.
Love Properly. And it's just a page of me smoking a cigarette, flogging myself. It's illustrated. It's illustrated like you scroll the pages with your thumb, and it's me flogging myself. And that's it.
That's the whole book.
That's how not to love properly.
Yeah.
What now has anything come to fruition of these guys that I've seen you talking to after shows in terms of nothing? What happens? You just text them and then
I don't text them. No,
they don't text you, or they text you.
I've got maybe like a friend or something that I would text, but nothing.
Nothing comes of it.
Yeah, no, I haven't hooked up with anybody or like.
In over a year?
Yeah, dude.
You're like a nun.
I know, it's terrible.
You're a sex camel.
Oh.
That's not a nice way to put it, but
camels can go without water.
Well, I would be the water in a sex situation.
It's a sex camel.
A dick is a cactus, motherfucker.
I'm writing that down.
I'm the water, so I got my own water.
That's right.
That's true.
The desert. Everyone else is in the desert. I'm fine.
She's potable.
She's what?
Potable.
I'm
water.
potable.
Potable water. That's drinkable water.
Potable?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Do you want me to look it up for you?
No, I believe you.
No, I feel like I'm shy.
Come on. Yeah, offstage you are. I agree with that. Yeah.
And I'm shy,
Audible's
and
a word.
I don't know. Here's the thing. For me, I think I've had loveless sex before in my life, and
best kind to have.
No, it's not. That is my point. I've had it, and it's to me at this time in my life, it's not worth it. I would rather just masturbate if I'm going to do that. Why am I going to open myself up to it's different for women to me than, in my opinion, than it is for a man. Because I'm letting someone into my body. It's very invasive, right? So
sure.
Also there's an exchange of energy and all of that stuff that it's like, I don't want to just be handing that out to somebody, because it's taking something from me, I feel. And I want sex to mean something. And if it doesn't mean anything, then I don't want it. And that's just it.
Right. I agree with that. I rarely meet a woman because I never slept around. I agree. If the sensation is the destination, there's a solution for that. Yeah. There's a way to achieve that without having to introduce another person.
Well, and you know what? It's not even just. It's also the fact that it's dangerous too. On top of it, it's like,
in so many ways.
In so many ways, it just when you're in the position that I'm in, mentally, physically, emotionally, just raw, and trying to get my life together. To add in any added stress because I had a temptation for a minute or whatever, which I haven't even really been that tempted, to be honest, because it's more mental for me, than physical. And so, if I met somebody that I was like that turned on, that into it, then if it felt right, it felt right. But I just haven't. So I'm not seeking out sex to fill a void. is, I guess.
Literally.
Right.
Ha.
There you go. I'm not some idiot up here. I got ideas.
Hey, you're quick, man.
No, I think you're right. I think when you get older too, it is easier to just masturbate because there's on both ends for guys too. There's the added stress of the drama or people not being on the same level of just having a physical relationship. Mm-hmm. So, and then for women, you add the level of just safety and just vulnerability at certain settings when it's more mental. It's bad. I agree.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, to each their own. I'm not judging people about it. And like, I don't want to be like some prude either, but I just,
what's right for you.
Yeah. And I'm not in my 20s anymore. And I don't feel like I need to.
That's exactly it. I think in the 20s, it's like all about that. But now it's like, I'd rather just go home and.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
You'd rather just want something real or nothing at all, man.
Well, I don't know about wanting something real. It's just more about like, it's just a lot of work.
Right. But if it's real, I don't think if it's real, it might not be that much work. I don't know. What do I know?
What do we all know?
Right.
Exactly.
We just got to find this.
Cold brew, baby.
Coffee.
Kristen, we are out of time. This has been awesome catching up with you and your journey, both professionally and whatever this is, this loving properly idea that you're advancing.
Thank you.
Where can people find out more about your upcoming shows and stuff? Where's your social media and stuff?
I am Kristen Toomey on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. And
I follow all those things.
I'm
Kristen.
Yay.
You guys have to see Kristen's new jokes, by the way. They
Thank you.
Make me laugh harder. And it's really cool, the one joke you have. I don't want to spoil it for everyone else, but I remember when you first did it, you and I were at like a mic, I think a year ago probably, at Rena's mic, and you were doing the story about your son's recital.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And now I saw it like last week. I was like, holy shit, this is so awesome.
Thank
so
you.
it's really fun.
It up. Yeah. I retired it last night, actually.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, now you can tell us.
I'm
I'm
to
kidding.
the new hour. I'm on to this new jazz about just speaking honestly.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it'll be on a upcoming recording of some sort. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And thanks, Patti, for joining us again.
My pleasure. I learned so much every time.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay, we'll see. Just bring me donuts next time, will you?
Yeah, and
salami.
salami. And thank you all for listening. Again, please subscribe to us. I know you guys are listening. We have way more listeners than we have subscribers. So please subscribe to us wherever you listen. It helps us a lot. And review us if you like us. That's another episode of Singles Only Podcast. Bye, everyone.